Good morning. I have a couple of hours to kill before Formula 1 qualifying starts at 11 AM, so I decided to go back into Wegberg modification for emergency 4, which is a lovely antidote to emergency 5. We'll enter today's date, which is the 1st of October 2016. Our name, which is the second line in the pager, I'll put in Titties because I like seeing Titties on the screen. We'll set it at 1000 hours. It is currently a bit cloudy outside, so I'll put it at Bevolt, which is cloudy. Sonic is, not surprisingly for English-speaking people, sunny. Bevolt is cloudy. Regenisch is rainy, and that's stormish. Stormy, not stormish, stormy. Again, pretty obviously, I think, and then we can choose our difficulty: easy, medium, or hard. I'll choose hard, and we can choose the Funk Rufnamen. Yeah, the Germans have quite long words. I mean, we've got Einters Aufkommen aus up here, which is a lovely long word. And then we have Wählen Sie die Funkrufnamen. We can go with analog or digital. Digital is what it says up here. So it says TLF, 11, whatever. The other ones, the analog ones, are just the numbers. That's confusing, so we'll choose that. And we'll just get started. And we'll now see our fire station out here. We can click on this button here, which takes the roof off. We have our little Swiss clone pager up here at the top of the screen. Oh, God, for God's sake. Yeah, I'm just letting this thing run its course. It's a good idea to sit with something to keep you busy while you're waiting for calls and this. I just have my tablet out browsing stuff, and all of a sudden there's a loud beeping noise in my ear, which scares the ever-loving shit out of me. But I'm getting dressed for a burning sound. Oh, is that a fence? I want to say that's a burning fence. I could look it up in the meantime. I'll bring the tablet device out again. I shouldn't say it's an iPad, but it is. According to Google Translate, the sound is a fence, so I was correct. We'll dispatch the incident commander, get him on status 3, responding to call. Off you go. Put on the blues and twos, we'll deafen everyone in the garage. Off you go. Now, seeing that this is a fence fire, I don't see much use of a ladder truck. So I'll go ahead and I'll dispatch our rescue vehicle because it carries more chainsaws and other equipment that might actually be useful. But I'll focus on getting the primary plants away. We don't have any water tenders, which does kind of complicate matters a bit. Let's see how many we have aboard the primary. We have 4, so you'll be number 5, and then whoever's ready next will be number 6. That'll probably be this chap up here. Yeah, this chap here gets to go on that. Okay, we now have a vehicle here where we can talk. We can go in here. Basically, first report for fire. We'll request additional units. And then do we have a Brandzaun? We need more vehicles. We need a water tender to come out here with more water aboard. We'll get these out here. They're all on scene. Switch off the front flashes and just get everyone out. The machinist, the pump operator, can open the gates out here. Did we not out here? What about schnelle Nachalarmierung? Yes, that's what we want. And we want a... Do we not have a water tender? Yeah, we got TLF 4000. That's the one we want. Anfahrt mit Sonderrechen. That's what we want. That's with emergency lights and siren. We'll need these out here to have one just to go in with a... Do we have one with a BA on? Yeah, we do. We have this chap here. Get him with a nozzle. Equip with that and then attack from down here. And then I'll try and get another one going from down here, and I'll try and get the rescue vehicle out with a chainsaw. So are you actually ready out here soon to put out a bit of fire? I want to try and cut the fire off here, basically section it in. So if I park him over here, he also arrived on scene. We need to tell that, don't we? Status 4, and then get you out. No, could you put out the bit down here, please? Put out that bit. We need to watch this thing and make sure that it doesn't run out of fire. So we need to get this chap here, actually, we need to get him into the cutting clothes for, you know, the lumber equipment. What we're doing out here, yeah, we already used 10% of the water, and the fire seems to be spreading just a wee bit. Hopefully our water tender will arrive fairly soonish. You've got your kit on, so let's get the chainsaw out and try and see if we can actually cut down on the fencing out here. We may not actually be able to. Actually, we are not, which is a bit of an issue for us. We haven't had any other additional units respond, have we? No, I don't see a reason to call the police on this one. It's a firing offence. It's limited property damage. I'm sure the police in Germany have more important things to deal with. I may have to get this chap out with another attack out here to cut it down here. Could you extinguish over here? Yeah, the issue with this is that we have to try and basically just try and contain it and let it burn out and just pretend that we called in the farmer who owns the land and who owns the cows so they can get transported away. We'll deploy it from the same vehicle here. We may want to consider... I know this chap here, he has his little haspel abnehmen here, which is basically a hose reel on the back of the thing. Is that coming in now? Is that why we're hearing the Martin's horn? No, it's not. What's going on then? No vehicles here. My main issue is that we don't actually overuse our water supply, which is why I was kind of... yeah, see that? We have to pretty much just stop this immediately. And just get you to... Basically, could you just stop doing that? I just need to get them away now. Because I don't want them to put out more. Could you run away from the fire? I don't want you to put out the fire. Do you understand me? Do not put out the fire. Yeah, you're doing the right thing down there by not touching it. Actually, I may get you involved just for a wee bit here. Just put it out. Oh, there we go. 4,000 litres of water arriving on scene. That is exactly what I need. I'm not sure what we carry on these. It doesn't actually tell me, but we are on 40%. This is what these games should do. This is the kind of management you have to do in these things, which is what makes it all exciting, at least for me. So put that out. So you arrived on scene here. So get you... Yeah, fuck it, leave it. Now we need to bring you up a bit more. Yeah, thank you. So put you, status 4, on scene. And then one of these chaps here can get out with a fire hose. I can get the machinist out here, the vehicle operator. And I can get him to switch on his pump. And then I should be able to hook up this to the appliance over here so we have some water supply going. Can you do that? Yeah, you can. And I'll hook it up there and then they'll cross-load. Yes! So can you put water on that bit, please? The bit that's mostly on fire over there so it doesn't spread that way. And then we'll take the other end and then we'll kind of tidy it up a bit at the end. Yeah, okay, you could do it like that as well. So I did call in a vehicle that was not needed. I actually called in 2 vehicles, but that's just how it goes. Yeah, they're stuck down here. We don't need you, so you are clear to go home. So we can select our incident command vehicle, which is all the way down here, and bring it up a bit, actually. Talk with dispatch once more. Put your status 4, actually. So the fire is out. We can then decouple here. What about the water supply? We need to establish that again, don't we? Well, here we go. Here's our incident commander. So we can go Einsatzabschlussmeldung, which is incident, basically finalisation report. And what do we have? Fire aus. Yeah, this is the one. Fire incident. Basically fire extinguished. Oh, fucking... Yeah, alright. We now have a work-related accident. So this could be anything, really, from a factory worker trapped in some sort of heavy machinery to... Or pretty much anyone trapped in any kind of machinery. It could be... I don't know, some sort of butcher stuck in one of those little meat grinder thingies, to bakers who sat their arm trapped in an industrial mixer thing. Could be a construction worker that's pinned underneath some building materials. Could be a farmer who's trapped underneath a plough. Could be, well, technically they'd probably be dead because they're pretty sharp. But could be anything, really. So this will be quite interesting to see what we end up with on scene. We're in the same area where we had the fence fire. I'll try and see if I can find the incident. Maybe there's an ambulance or a police car parked near it. Down here we just have a sunflower field. What about over here? It doesn't really look like a place you'd have a worker incident, does it? What about up here then? Yeah, we have located it. Located it over here. We have police, we have emergency doctor, we have ambulance on scene already. It looks to be a forestry related incident. So they're treating someone lying underneath the tree here, so we'll go ahead, have the incident commander. Could you go off the noise? We don't want to deafen everyone on scene. So park you over here, do status 4, and request a talk. We have our radio transmission open here. We have a person underneath a tree. We'll go ahead and park this chap up here, the primary blinds. They are set now as status 4, so we'll turn up the front flashes, get all the crew out. We'll park this rescue vehicle in second place behind. Our first priority here will be to get them into, or at least get this chap into his right clothing for cutting up the berm. I don't know why those two are fighting, but the copper's not doing anything about it. I would imagine you'd need some sort of, well, preferably a crane or anything to kind of stabilise it. Maybe, you know, pneumatic backs to stabilise the berm, but we don't have any of that, so we'll just have to make do with what we have here. Our fireman is cutting into the tree, and we now have the patient free. We may have to actually cut it up into even smaller bits in order to satisfy the EMS people. The person has now been freed. EMS will continue to treat while we prepare for a return to station. We can send home the rescue vehicle immediately, and then we'll get everyone else back home. Okay, we have another fire. It's a garage fire. We'll go ahead and respond to that. It's a fire 2. I don't know what that means, the response date out here, but we'll just go ahead and send the primary appliance, the ladder truck, and of course ourselves in the incident command vehicle. And we do indeed have a fire. We'll park our primary appliance over here by the actual fire. We now have this open out here. First fire, we go in with more vehicles needed. Fire with a carport. And then can we park? I just need you to park here, chap. That's fine. Status 4, and then get you out. And then we need the ladder to park here. Status 4, leave you here, turn that off. We need a immediate and attack line going out here at 5 meters underrichting. We need Polizei, we need our second appliance. Shit, which one do we have on scene? Probably this one. Do we need anything more? Probably not, so let's call that out. So I have one BA crew going up there. We may have to deploy a second fire hose just to extend his attack line, which is something we can do here in Wegberg. We also need now out here with what we have going here is a car fire being put out. I don't know about the house, it's not on fire yet, but it could catch fire any moment. We need to have a look here. Water supply, we were at 90%, so that's good. I'll just try and hold off and see how much water we actually use on this. They should be fairly quickly extinguished. I think we can go ahead now and call in a weitere Lagemeldung, which is a secondary report from the scene, which just updates the fact that we have contained the fire and we don't need anything assisting out here, although we have our other appliance arriving now. It's just nice in case, I call them out in case the structure would catch fire. It does take a while for them to get here, so it's certainly good to have them here. So, weitere Lagemeldung für weitere Ausfuhr unter Gewalt mit Rohr. That is correct. So we have under control with several attacks going, or with more than one attack going. And that is the situation over here. So what's now on fire and why are you not putting out? Is it because we're out of water? Certainly would be, because we have been going for quite a while. And now we have a water... What? Okay, I didn't call that in, did I? Okay, well we have that here, that's nice. We'll go ahead now and hook this up here so we can actually put out the bits of the fire. I don't know whether or not I should deploy a foam attack on the car. That may be something I have to consider doing. And now we have more appliances arriving. What the fuck? It's just a garage fire. Okay, you can be status 1 and you can park... Well, you can be status 4, you're on scene. I'll keep you back here. There's no need to have all of these vehicles. I know they were coming. I certainly wouldn't have called in that. I just have sent that one really because we had the water tender arriving, which is far more useful than a ladder truck, but okay, we'll roll with this. I'm not sure how the foam works in this game. I have basically done a full foam attack out here, but it's still on fire. I'll go ahead now and, well, yeah, you need to focus on this bit up here that is on fire. Meanwhile, the foam chap can focus on this down here. Okay, here comes the police. I'll get in with that and cut it down. Yeah, please. I just need you to come down here and park somewhere where you're not in the way. I set up our water splitter, which now allows us to have 3 attacks going on the fire. But it doesn't seem to put it out for some weird reason. I don't know how to put out these car fires. I did a foam attack. I mean, half the bloody garage is full. Okay, it's out now. So I'll pack up here. I'll do a status report and send everyone home once we can. We certainly don't need any of these. Oh, and now we have a roof fire. That's not good. That's actually pretty bad. That is pretty much the whole house gone if we don't get there in time and we do a pretty aggressive attack on that. We are arriving out here, but I cannot see a roof fire. Oh, I actually can see a bit of smoke over here. Doesn't seem to be a roof fire. It seems to just be some pallets up there on the roof. So we'll park our incident commander. We'll park up our primary appliance over here. Get the noise off. park it here, let's get the front flashes off. Now let's leave it out here so we have actually only room to access our kit. Like here, for example, get you, open all of the doors. We now have our ladder arriving here. That will park over here. For some reason we didn't actually get torque powers, so we need to try and request again out here. Try and park the ladder here. Turn off the front flashers, put that on status 4 and just keep that ready. We'll get one guy out here with a hose and then this bloke will get the pump going. So now we have torque powers, initial report for fire. We can go in out here, request police out here. One Palettenstapel, which is basically pallets thing over here, you know, a stack of pallets. So that's what's on fire. We're putting out through the building itself. We can't really erect the ladder in any way that makes it accessible. So that's pretty much what we have to do out here. There seems to be one. So Mitsonderechen and police calling that out. The fire is now spreading onto the greater roof itself. I'm bringing in our ladder unit, but I don't know where to put it. Maybe I'll have to park it out here and try and extend it up. We need to establish water supply. That is rather pertinent right now. Get the ladder. Can we park it over here? We may just have to extend it to do some firefighting from it. Turn it around. Just get it as close as possible. Yeah, that'll do. Then the status 4. Do we need to get them out? We have a water tender arriving. We have another primary appliance with 9 firefighters on board. That's a lot, isn't it? So the operator will go in here. He will set that up. Where's the nearest water supply point? Oh yeah, that's a ladder truck being erected. Where's our water supply? Can we use that over there? Don't tell me we parked on top of it. See here, we can use that one over here. That is the good news. So we'll deploy this out here. The rest of the structure has caught fire now. We need this chap here. Yeah. Oh, can you not hook up because it's parked in the way? Yeah, that would be an issue, wouldn't it? Could you run over? Well, let's run it over here. Do we have any other places? We have another one over there. So water supply is not an issue as such. Hopefully you can actually establish a water supply. So I can get you to drop that, and then I can get you to set up a splitter somewhere, right? I'm now establishing a water supply to our ladder appliance here, so we can use that for firefighting. I'll get this chap here to put on his BA. We'll go an additional report out here, which is fire is spreading. We have a whopping great number of fire trucks out here now. We do not need as much as these. This chap here's got 9 crew in. We'll just keep them out here. We'll just get them to stage over here, I suppose. Our ladder is now in operation. Look at this. This looks absolutely cool and fantastic. Even though the support legs have kind of been removed, but that's a slight issue. The ladder is now extending itself like a proper ladder truck should. Look at that, extending, extending, extending. And he's about to deploy some firefighting from the basket onto the actual roof fire. I'll have to deploy another attack over from another appliance. We'll open up all the equipment rooms. I'll have to open up another attack line in here simply because it's beginning now to spread further onto the roof. So we have to deploy another BC attack from our... who is this? This is Wegberg 21, HLF 20, which is Luschgruppe Rad. So we can go ahead now and get you here. You have you started the pump yet? You have now. So we need one chap to go in with a splitter, and we need these chaps to go ahead and prepare for an attack. We need another chap to prepare and also put on his BA. He doesn't have a BA. Why don't they have a BA? That seems dangerous. Yeah, you do. Let's get that set up here. We also need you then to establish a water supply, because we're going to be doing an attack out here. So where are you? You are here. So could you set up in there? Oh, maybe we can't get in this way. That is an issue. We need to reposition our appliance. Maybe we don't. It's kind of an issue, access in there. So we'll just have to play with this and just try and run as many hoses as we can around. Although, you know, some of the roof over here is sort of burning out by now. That's good. As long as we can contain it, I may have to hold off here depending on what it is. No, it's kind of still going and we're not putting out the pallets behind. So we just have to try and wait for that. And then you maybe have to just... Yeah, you can't actually reach all the way around. So I'll go ahead and send this chap here down and hook up from there. We now have the fire under control out here. So I'll call that out. We have now 7 attacks going. We have 6 ground-based ones. We have another 7th from this chap up here. and we have contained the fire to the roof. All of the roof is on fire apart from this row over here. We're trying to prevent that from catching fire. It is under construction, so it's not really that big of an issue. Hopefully the fire will be out fairly soon. The pallets in here though, I don't know how to put those out, but we'll deal with that later on, I suppose. The third row did catch fire, despite the fact that I was cooling all three parts of the roof, so I don't know what happened there, but we seem to just have everything going on that bit now, so hopefully it'll be out soon. And after about 19 hours, we have put out the little roof fire here. The whole roof burnt down, so we now have to go and give a status report on the fact that we now have some post-fire work going on. And with that, it's time to end the video. We'll go ahead and just finish up this one out here, fly out. We've handed over the scene to police, and we'll end the video here as well. I hope you've enjoyed it. Goodbye.